Wow, that was quite a movie. I hope you paid attention. Maybe this is being a bad professor, but you were supposed to take notes because I have prizes and questions at the end. So surprise quiz. All right, I'm going to introduce our panel now. First, we'll introduce Nikki, who began her career in small-scale, diversified, community-focused agriculture 12 years ago in Petaluma, California. She now works as a climate smart ag specialist. That is a great title. We need more people like that, that's for sure. Climate smart ag specialist for the University of California Agriculture and Natural Resource Cooperative Extension in Ventura. The second panelist will be Adam Bega. A lot of people know him locally. As a lifelong resident here in Ventura County, Adam has served as the Community Affairs and Advocacy Coordinator for Clínicas del Camino Real Incorporated, and a qualified health center that offers a wide range of medical services. He's also a former Oxnard College student. So welcome our panelists. Come on up. So let's hope they took some notes.
Always.
All right, well, we'll start with each panelist just giving their impression about the movie, and then a little bit about your overall thoughts on the climate change issue. We'll start with Nikki.
Okay. This is the second time I've seen the film. First time I've seen the edited version. And well, I don't want to detract from the positivity and the hope. I do recognize that the film is it's really cinematographically pleasurable, but it's important to also remember the emotional element that they're playing with. I'm more interested, of course, in hearing the questions. I think they did a great job of describing the very important qualities of soil. I actually have photosynthesis here on my arm, so I can always be reminded of the power that it has.
That's great for your taking a test, too.
Yes, right. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of where I'll stop right there.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Adam, some of your thoughts?
Definitely want to echo what Nikki shared. Big fan of the movie, seen it lots of times. Actually been, blessed to work with a lot of the folks in there. Hung out with John Liu. I know the directors, Josh and Rebecca Tickell, very well. So they have a lot of good stuff coming out. And like Nikki said, it's a movie, right? It's there, one, for entertainment purposes, two, to kind of teach, educate, advocate a little all at once. And I think for me, as Nikki was saying, I'd really love to see what everyone here thinks, because we kind of live this, breathe this, do this, and we can kind of go into what we feel the solution is. But I think more for me, coming from like the community organizer kind of advocacy background, more so is, how can I be of use to you? And with that, just offering that to the crowd and everyone here, these movies, these OC Lives, these are all tools, these are all resources for us to come together, have a place, discuss, dialogue, and really decide, how we're going to do what we're going to do, and why, because that's most importantly, is like understanding our why, knowing your why. And if we don't know it, we can discover it, and this was a great movie to do that.
Yeah, that's what I really liked about the movie. It brings the topic to us, it brings it to the public. You guys are experts in it. So for the public to be able to engage on this and then react to it, like you said, with some good stuff. One thing I want to mention about the movie is that question that was posed. How do we stop looking for shiny objects and instead care about the earth? We're part of the ecosystem, obviously. We are nourished from it, and focus on that, and how rewarding that is by itself. Yeah, so maybe we could do a few questions. Amy, if you're out there somewhere. We'll take just a few questions, because we're going to play another short movie. It's only less than 9 minutes. What you can do locally, you're going to see some folks that you're familiar with from campus as well. So Are there any questions? It's a little bit hard to see out there. Are you out there, Amy? Yeah, okay. Yeah, raise your hand if you have a question or just a thought about the movie. Yep, right over here.
I'll bring a microphone. There we go. Hold it.
Yep.
Yell it out. Yell it out.
Well, I can come down for now. Yeah, go ahead and yell it out. I'll repeat it. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just curious, is this movie being shown to students or everyone in 8th grade?
That I don't know. Does anyone know? Yeah, someone raised their hand. Okay. So it's definitely a great idea to introduce these topics. That's something that's word of mouth very often is most effective. So if you have suggestions for that, the middle college that's on campus here, they're now aware of it. Sure.
Let me bring you a mic, just because we're also live streaming, so they want to hear you at home. At least my mom and husband, I didn't think so. They don't get see you, they can just hear you.
So if it's not, is it available to, say, rent for a teacher to share it with their science classes?
It
Yes,
is
it is.
actually.
Yes.
This film in full feature length, you can find it on Netflix, but they've actually worked it into like a 45-minute version so it could be accessible for teachers and class curriculum, things like that. I believe you can get it through the website, but also queue it up on YouTube really quickly, Kiss the Ground. So it is available for teachers, and that's a big hope that this movie would be utilized as such. So yeah, definitely have at it.
All right, someone else had their hand up right there.
Larry.
Yep.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
I have a question for the panel. In your experience, what has been the most effective way to involve people that may not be as familiar or that are maybe can make more of a difference, older than 5th and 8th graders, but what have you noticed that kind of brings home the bacon?
All right, I'll take a stab at that. Well, not one person can't do everything, but everyone can do something. So it's really figuring out what something that is for that individual. And back to kind of what I was sharing with the group here today is, understanding your why. For example, I had a friend, she's an artist, through and through, she's an artist. And she's like, look, I make art. I don't go to city council. I can't do a 3-minute, I wouldn't even dare to do a 3-minute public comment. I don't want to do that. Nor do I want to march, nor do I want to go to Sacramento, the Board of Super, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm like, well, and my friend's name is Diane Zuniga. The two of us went to Oxnard High School. Really great article in The Nation about Diane and our time at Oxnard High School, because they were exposing us to the most toxic chemicals in the highest amounts in the state of California at rates higher than anyone in this state. And it just happens, oh, hey, we're brown, right? So Diane, what she did was she used her art, and she's actually going to be doing a event at the Oxnard Performing Arts Center this weekend, and she says, look, I want to channel my art into activism, artivism, and that's going to be the topic this weekend. So that's just one example. If you're an artist, hey, the movement needs art. We need posters, right? We need signs, and I know the question is like, how do we stray away from the shiny objects? But I kind of, turn the problems into solutions. Sometimes you need the shiny objects, right? Like sometimes we need to take people out to a farm that looks really, really cool. Sometimes we need to have a poster that's very, very compelling, or images, or music, or songs. So that's just one example. Some people like to be in the background. Other people like to be up front. Other people just feel comfortable, being like a line leader. Hey, don't step on the street. Let's stay on the sidewalk. So everyone can do something. So that's just my little 2 cents of that.
I would add to that. That's the magic in volunteering, is finding something that matches you, what you want to do, what you're interested in learning, doing something new. It's your chance to try that out. So no matter what your skill is or your interest, there's something. If not, see me. We'll figure that out. Maybe that's a good segue into the next movie, which is exactly about that. This is a short movie made by Friends of the Santa Clara River, and it's about getting the community out and applying what you're actually saw in the movie, but you can do this, right? No matter where you live, there's places where you can help and volunteer to do that.
growing up, you know, mom and dad didn't really show me anything about the environment. They didn't know themselves. We didn't have information about that. It wasn't until I got to high school where I was able to see these programs and these teachers that were excited about the environment, and I wanted to be just like them. And that gave me chills. Like, my name is Diana Rodriguez. I'm an ESRM student at Oxnard College, transferring to Channel Islands.
Hi everyone, I'm Sylvia Schnapp, and I am a native of this area. I was born and raised in Oxnard. This is the first time I've ever been out here to the Santa Clara River in this area by the Fillmore Fish Hatchery. I'm really happy to be here as a volunteer this morning with Friends of the Santa Clara River. It looks like about 1/3 of the garden has been built out, and what we're doing this morning is moving mulch so that we'll be ready for, say, come planting season in October.
Now that I think back, nature was not that far away from me. It was blocks from me. And I never realized that because I never stepped out of the way. I never took the trail to see what was going on. So now that I know about it, I want to tell more people about it. I want more people to show up to the cleanups. I want more people to start planting more trees that are native to our area. Some people consider climate change to be a global issue. It really does come down to a micro level, and it's affecting our local communities just by having our water contaminated or our air contaminated. Climate change has affected our water supply.
My name is Jacqueline, and I'm here because climate change is an important issue for me. So anything that we can do to support our environment, I'm completely passionate about. Hopefully encourages others to come out and be a part of this amazing group. So I'm hoping to shovel up some dirt to plant anything that is available for us today.
Travis Kinworthy here at the Native Plant Garden adjacent to the Fillmore Fish Hatchery, just to the east of Fillmore. I've been digging up this non-native mustard species.
Can you eat mustard?
Yeah, you know, you actually can eat mustard, and you know, a lot of people like it on their hamburgers and hot dogs. You can actually just take this, pluck that right off, and eat it. Yum. I wouldn't eat too much of it though. But if you're out working in the field and you're hungry, you know, hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. The leaves on this, you can buy mustard greens in the store, make a salad, so you can just pluck those right off there and put that in your salad. Hopefully, no animals have urinated on this one. I'm gonna eat anyway. Yeah, need some salad dressing.
Oxnard has the richest soil, some of the richest soils. And if we continue to have these water issues, we won't be able to feed a lot of the country. And a lot of our immigrant workers are working on the fields. They depend on that. They depend on that water to come through. Thousands of field workers and people that are related to the agriculture jobs, they will lose their jobs and their livelihood.
The main channel of the Santa Clara River is running to our south. It runs pretty much east-west from the headwaters. The water table is higher to the ground than other places. And specifically where we are right now, it's very marshy. Juncus, a rush, it's a water plant. You'll find it a lot close to water. The soil seems to be healing itself, but we'll also be working on doing some amending when we plant, create a healthier soil for the plants to go in. It will be a natural soil. Sophia is the future of our future of restoration.
Sometimes people think that nature may mean I have to drive out 6 hours to a forest or to a desert. But our environment can be our local beaches. Our environment is the local river.
Now what do we do? Oh, hey, let's show a good example.
Supervising.
You watched the whole time.
So I was raised in Fillmore. Growing up, there was not much to do here, but ride our bikes. You know, there was orchards all over the place. We want a street light, and we used to ride our bikes around, just people telling us, don't go that way, there's bears.
What inspires you to come out and do this type of conservation and natural work?
I want to keep Fillmore to keep looking natural.
The biggest thing is healing, getting away from the noise, getting away from the stress of our everyday life, and finding a peaceful place, some sunshine, having a quiet picnic. That's really special.
We do this in our yard. We mulch. We have a chipper shredder. We grind. We make no waste at all. I mean, very little. In fact, we were talking to the trash company. We said, can you just give us a little tiny can, because we put out maybe this much trash every week, because everything's composted or mulched. Look at everything you do in your daily life, and there's so many areas where you can save water, reuse it.
I hope to transfer either probably to San Luis Obispo or Davis. They have an environmental soil science major, and I'm like, this is me.
She started working harder when I started filming.
You better make it look good.
Everyone can have a contribution in their own way. Small tasks, small changes that have ripple effects.
Hi, my name is Tamara.
I'm Kyle. I live in Ventura, so cool to see where some of the water comes from, you know, contribute to restoring some of this land. You know, there's a lot of agricultural history out here, so it's cool to see it being turned back into what it was. My minor was environmental engineering, so I've been in with a lot of environmental stuff for a while.
Hard, working hard. Come on, Jim. Put your back into it.
I'm right-handed. Remember, I'm the editor of the video, so.
What can we do? There are so many things. We can join local groups, sign up for cleanups, sign up to do planting trees. And I think the biggest impact that we can have is reaching out to our local leaders, our local Congress people, reaching out in public forums where they can really understand what we need.
I just invite everybody who wants to do something to join up and volunteer with Friends of Santa Clara River.
I'll say to all the young people out there, do it. Take the leap. Join the club. If it doesn't strike a chord with you, go to another one. That was me a few months ago. I was invited to a Friends of Santa Clara River meeting. Then I joined another meeting, and another meeting, and now I'm a board of director.
Inspiration.
That's all about me.
The environment is for everyone. El ambiente es para todos.
All right, thank you. So let's get some last thoughts on maybe things that people can do in addition to what you saw in the movie. There's millions of things. So maybe we'll start with the audience. Any questions or thoughts or ideas? Must be at least one idea. Do I have to give a prize for an idea? I don't have enough prizes. Go ahead.
Let me pass the mic down to you.
Yeah.
My name's Carl. I'm a retired teacher, and I've been to a lot of educational conferences, and that 45-minute clip would be an excellent thing that you could present at these things. And you know, a good teacher in elementary incorporates a lot of different subjects in any one subject, and this would be something I'm certain that they would love to show their students, and they're always looking for materials to show at these conferences, and I think it would be very beneficial if you can get into that vein of education. They would love to include that because it would be a great topic for what's current now and for our future.
It's true. You reach so many people when you have groups together. Getting people, whether it's online or in person, is definitely a key thing. Do you have any thoughts, Nikki or Adam, about actions that people could take? Or
Yeah, I might follow up with the comment I made earlier of my response to the movie and then lead into the answer to that question. One of the main dilemmas that I see with this movie is that it villainizes the farmers, and it omits a large part of history, that is the history of colonialization and extraction and economics that go into it, and instead it makes it look like farmers are just making bad decisions and not taking care of their soil. And they're able to depict this message, as false as it is in my experience, because there's such a disconnect that we have. You know, there was a time when a large percentage of the world's population was very intimately involved in growing their own food, and now it's less than 1%. And my own experience, having gone to college, learned about the chaos that was ensuing around the planet, feeling defeated, and I was inspired by these small scale food movements around the globe where people, it's just that seed, pun intended, of getting involved with your own food production. Everyone I hear this, they have a brown thumb, they can't grow something. Yeah, I was terrible the first couple of gardens and farms that I tried, but there is this old intuitive knowledge that each one of us does have. And so even if it's one herb or one flower, something that brings you joy, I feel like that is a really great place to start. And then, you know, where I say I was eco-illiterate, literally knew nothing about how to grow food, that memory and that relationship come back, because this idea of us being separate from nature, I feel, is misleading. We are nature, and it's not that we need to stop messing with it, but we need to increase our footprint, but in a more intentional way, which your movie shows, which the clip of Gabe Brown showing his neighbor who just left it fallow shows. But there is ways that you can get involved in just your own, you know, just one pot of something that you can grow, I think is a great place to start.
Yeah, great. Adam?
Nikki said it better than I could have. And just looking at the audience, I just want to see a quick show of hands. Are there any of my friends that I saw earlier today from like the Oxnard Middle College? Did anyone like come out? Like show of hands, maybe? 1, 2, 3?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Yes. Thank you. You came. All right. No, that made me really happy. I was out here earlier. So it's good to see y'all. It's good to see y'all. I think I just want to share that, you know, I've seen a lot, but I ain't seen it all. And, you know, rather than go into like a long story of the who, what, where, when, why, and how, you can, you know, Google my name, pesticides, and kind of see some of the things that I've done, at least in this county, this region, and the state with regards to pesticide reduction, as well as trying to localize our food system. You know, Nikki and I were in Paso Robles pre-pandemic, and this was the California Small Farmers Conference. And we heard it in the video that Professor Danza showed, right? Diana, she said it best, right? Like, act local, impact global. We saw it in Kiss the Ground, right? The small water cycle. Like, no action that we do is too small. You heard about the ripple effects. Like, you know, I was hanging out earlier and 2 people came out. That makes me really happy, you know? And that's how it starts. Any movement, any organization, you know, each one teach one. You tell one person, they tell another person. That person tells 2 more, and that person tells 3. And then sooner or later, we're going to have this room filled. I've seen it. So with that, I've done a little bit of this, done a little bit of that. I'm kind of at a point where I can continue throwing out ideas or things that I'd like to do, but I'm more interested in seeing what it is that you all want to do and how we can work together to make that happen. I'm very passionate about this college specifically. You know, I came here as a preschool student. You know, I was part of the child development program. I remember being in that little, yeah, that's right, good hand in the back, woo! I remember coming here. You know, I remember being carried in a little wagon looking at these classrooms, and then I remember coming back as a student. So now I'm here again, and it feels so good to be on the stage. You know, I can't tell you, like, I accomplished my wildest dreams, right? So with that, I think this is, not that I think, I know that Oxnard College is a very special place. Oxnard being the biggest city in the county of Ventura, population of 200,000. We take 10% of that, that's what, 20,000 people, right? We don't even need 10, let's take 5, let's take 2, let's take, you see what I'm saying? Like we could start here. So there's a lot of opportunities that we can have. You know, I was thankful to all those culinary students that kept me fed when I was a young, broke college student. You know, we have a cafeteria, we have space where we can incorporate some of the things that we saw in this movie. So with that, I not only invite you, but I challenge you to, you know, work with me, some of the people on this stage, and others that you're sitting next to in the audience to let's make it happen. Whatever that is that we want to make happen, whatever that looks like, whatever we can dream or dare to imagine together. You know, I just want to share that with you all and say, hey, you know, there's no time like now.
Right. Yeah. Great. We'll take one more question, Richard.
Thank you. My question is about tilling of the soil. Not all tilling is bad, and some of it could be good. Can you discuss the difference between instances where you need to till and or when tilling becomes bad?
I'll take that if.
Sure.
Yeah, so not all tilling is bad, correct. Now, one of the oversimplifications of the film is that if all farmers grow row crops that are perennial or that are harvested by combines, you know, corn, wheat, soy, these are all, you know, the main crops that the film is talking about. But what about all the other food we eat? What about your broccoli, your arugula, your radishes, your carrots? These are all what are called annuals. After they're harvested, there's no more, and you have to replant them. So it's very, very hard to be a farmer of specialty crops, which is how the USDA categorizes anything other than the corn, soy, alfalfa, cotton, wheat. And so that would be one example where you might have to. Now, if you also farm, and stop me because I could start talking about farming for the next 2 days, but if you farm in a place where it's really cold, tilling in the beginning of the year might be very beneficial to release a little bit of heat so that you wake up those microbes so that you can then plant. Sometimes you need to crack an egg to make an omelet. You have some land that is deteriorated and you want to regenerate it, you might need to till it and make it a little bit even and take what is invasive or not adding long-term value so that you can spread a select native cover crop there that you can start building. So building soil definitely is in stages, and it really depends on what you're growing, where you're growing it.
So like any good scientific answer, well, it depends.
Oh yeah, it depends for sure. And then how deep and how often. So once in a while, it might be okay, but the tillage equipment, you know, started out this deep, then it goes this deep, and now they've got these, they call them rippers, and they rip the earth because as you plow, it makes that plow pan that the roots cannot penetrate. So they just keep going more and more, deeper, harder. And then as the automation of farming, it's all GPS and everything. So they need it to be as perfect and flat. And so they till so much to kind of create this false sense of symmetry and consistency that may not be necessary. So does that kind of answer some of your question?
Yeah.
I could talk for a lot longer about it, but I'll stop.
Yeah, we all got to stop ourselves, especially me. Okay, so I think we'll move on to the next segment, but first with the prizes. But I just want to thank Nikki and Adam. Applause.
Thank you.
So I'm going to put up here some of the questions in a moment, but whatever you're doing, I want you to think about the Earth and the climate crisis. So whatever you're thinking you might do, you definitely need to do, right? And do it probably 10 times over, right? We're really running out of time. We really only have, something like 10 years to really prevent climate change from becoming a permanent thing that will self-fulfill what we call a positive feedback mechanism. So there's this tipping point maybe you've heard about. So, all right, so maybe we'll get the next slide up there. We have some cool prizes. You may be surprised to find out they are plants. All right, so I'm going to put these over here. These are California native plants. And I got some other goodies to kind of throw in there too. A little bit of swag. All right, so, all right, questions for prizes. So we'll have 3 questions. A lot of people might know the answer, so I'll just randomly pick someone, and we'll see how this goes. All right, first question. Next slide. All right, hit the button one more time. Okay, what is nature's cellular process for removing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere? Anybody know? Yeah, back right. I think that would be correct. All right, that would be Ivan. He won. Wow, one of my students knew the answer. All right, so come on up, grab a plant. And I don't know if you went to Coastal Cleanup Day, but this shirt says you did. So you might have to lie. All right, so grab a plant and a t-shirt. All right, let's do question 2. True or false? A home garden that includes compost to enrich soil reduces carbon dioxide and is good for the soul, even if sunflowers may stare you down. True or false? Right there in the middle. Which true? True. Yes, it is true. Come on up. By chance, did you run in the Friends of the Santa Clara River 5K run? Well, you may have. Grab a plant. Okay, let's do the next question, the last one. What is the minimum number of people it takes to plant a tree? 1. Okay, you got it. You get a nice swag bag from Friends of Santa Clara River, backpack bag, and a plant here. Go ahead and hit the slide one more time. This is a follow-up. There should be another. What about if you are a certain president? You still get the prize. What do you think? You still think it takes 1 or more? I know it's vague. More. Okay, hit the slide. Yes, apparently it takes 4 people to plant a tree. 2 supervisors and then 2 other people. Okay, so that's our prizes. So thanks for the winners. Give them a little applause there. Okay, next slide. All right, so let me advertise a little bit about Oxnard College. And we teach classes, but also degree programs. One more time, there's a lot of buttons in this one. Maybe I could do it here. All right, there we go. We offer a AAT transfer degree in geography and environmental science, so think about that for your future. Shameless plug there. All right, and what else can you do? You're energized, you saw these movies, you heard our panelists. Well, you've done one good thing right there, right? Accomplished. Then you can also go on a river walk along the Santa Clara River. It will be on May 6th. I am leading it. It will be in Ventura. If you want more information on that, take a picture of that. I don't have a flyer handy for that, but you can also go to the Friends of the Santa Clara River website, and it'll be like a walk and talk, and you'll learn about the river, its resources, and whatever you want to talk about related to that. And then after that, the next day on May 7th, you can go to the location of where we made the movie, Dig In, and you can help out at Fillmore with some restoration efforts out there. Again, that's May 6th in the morning. All right, so now you got some actions, some checklists, like, I don't know what to do, I'm concerned. There you go. That's a good start, right? Plus anything else you can think of. All right, so I think this wraps it up. I want to thank our panelists again, Nikki and Adam. All right, thank you for coming. We had folks live streaming as well. So we're very excited that you came, and come back to OC Live. There's programs next fall. Next spring, we'll be doing this again about the same date, a different Earth Day topic. All right, so hope to see you back. All right, thank you, everybody.